being in a place where my emotions are triggered by pain that I can't even see. Like, do you know how, like, weird that feels to be in a place where you're triggered by pain you can't even see? Like, the anxiety that sits in my chest, I can't even breathe. When I've been in my deepest pain, and it's like, you're going through this healing journey, and I'm finding out all things and all the little quirks about me that I didn't really realize before. And I'm coming to realize that a lot of it, I just don't like what I see. There are some changes that need to be made, and I cannot get mad at God for any decisions that I willingly made. Like, if I'm looking at my weight, I can't get mad at God for not losing the weight if I'm not putting in the work, if I'm not, properly changing my diet, if I'm not, taking that 30-minute walk per day as he gave me the instruction to do so. Just walk, or just dance it off, or just do this, or just do that. But I can't be mad at God. Any relationship I had that failed, that didn't work out, I can't be mad at God. Any job that I had that I didn't take seriously and I lost it, I can't be mad at God. I can't be mad at God. And I think, because God named this podcast The Interior Design for Your Soul, because sometimes he just be moving some furniture. Don't even ask you. He get the moving things. And I think one of my longest standing things that I had, and I know it's taboo to say that, oh, I have an ought with God. But sometimes we do, and it don't feel right. It doesn't feel good. Like, I got an ought with God. But sometimes we're not honest about that. Sometimes we're not honest with the fact that we are mad at God. We are mad at some of the things that happen in our life. Because sometimes we feel like, well, God, I prayed, I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that. And I still didn't get what I wanted. I still didn't get what I prayed for. And he's like, I never said I was going to grant it to you. I needed you to work out your soul salvation so I could get you to a particular level, or I could, work on a particular characteristic that you had that needed to go, or, something in the design that you have picked up along the way because life has happened to you that I didn't create in you. You've self-created some things in you. You've self-created some characteristics that I didn't give you, nor did I co-sign off on. Nor did I condone, but here you are in that characteristic of meanness, or here you are in that characteristic of stubbornness. I didn't give you that characteristic. I gave you a spirit of meekness and humbleness and peace and love and joy, and here you are operating in anger and frustration. I didn't give you that. Don't put my name on that. Don't stamp God over your foolishness. Don't stamp God over every bad decision that you made. Don't do it. Don't do it. Sometimes you got to get to a point of just having some accountability, of looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I failed me in this particular area. I didn't stick up for me in this area. I didn't speak up for me when I should have in that area. Like, so you got to throw it back on you and stop throwing stuff off on God. He's been nothing but your helper. He's been nothing but a peacemaker. He never told you to go down that path. He told you no. And you walked anyway. He said, don't do that. Oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. And you did it anyway. And sometimes you have to realize that the Holy Spirit will yield you for a reason. The Holy Spirit's yielding is like guardrails over cliffs. It protects you from going over the deep end. It protects you from going off the ledge, but you go anyway. He's like, I told you, like you do a child. You see a child running towards a pool or a puddle, or you see him running towards a hot stove and they're going to touch you like, because you can see it. God can see it. You may not see why. And you know what I mean? I've come to terms where we don't always need to see why. We don't always need to know why. The obedience is better than whatever it is that you're going to have to sacrifice and give up anyway. Because God knows the end. God knows the end. You know, one of the things I'm still dealing with right now, and I've had people in my life that passed away that I cared about. And I was there for them while they were living, but on their deathbed, I don't know. I just couldn't find a way to always show up. And I know that it has to do with the death of my dad. Like, you know, I don't think there's still parts of me now. Like, I remember I was pissed at God. And because I still haven't made sense of it. I still haven't made sense of my dad's death, because I feel like, you know, and it's just my person. It's called interior design for your soul. But I feel like my dad got to the pinnacle of his life, and then God killed him. Right? That's where I'm at, you know, and I'm just being honest. That's where I'm at. And God killed my dad at the pinnacle. So my thing is like, well, dang, am I going to get to the top of my life and you kill me too? Like, you know, and I'm just being transparent. You know, on the flip side of that, I know everybody has a time, you know, and the way that God has helped me in flipping at is looking at it like, at least my dad got to the top. Some people never get there. My dad lived out his dreams. Some people never get there. And my dad got to live out his dreams. He's been everywhere. He's been all over the country. And, you know, I know he died a happy man with God. You know, no matter how untimely I think or anybody else thinks that it is, he lived. He lived, like, and I feel like that's what gives me peace. But then I still got that hang up, like, you killed my dad. You know, and that's just where I'm at. But I don't have a title for this podcast today. Okay? Release of the soul. Heck, I don't know. But I love y'all. Again, it's been your life empowerment coach, Ireenii, with interior design for your soul. And I hope to see y'all again on the next episode. Toodles.